Hey, what's up? I have a question for you today. And that question is, what are your you and who numbers? Now, the answer to that question comes in the form of a ratio. And the first number is, how many people are you truly responsible for? And when I say responsible, I mean how many people are you in direct control of the way they think, act, and feel? I'll give you the answer to that one. It's one. You are never responsible for any more or less people than yourself. You cannot directly control the way anybody thinks, acts, or feels outside of yourself. Now, the second number in that ratio is how many people are you actually taking care of? When I say care, I don't mean how many people do you care for or you care about, but how many people do you provide actual care for, be it financial, health-wise, or any other way. Let's say you're the breadwinner. You have a spouse that's dependent on your income, and you two have a young dependent child. Your ratio number is probably 1 to 3, meaning you're responsible for yourself, you take care of yourself, that spouse, and that young child. 1 to 3. Now let's say you don't have a spouse, no young children, or even an aging parent that you have to provide care for. Your ratio number is probably 1 to 1. You're responsible for yourself and you take care of yourself. Now, unfortunately, but realistically, there are some people out here that have no spouse, no dependent children, no aging parents to take care of, and they also don't take care of themselves. Their number is probably 1 to 0. They are no less responsible for themselves than anyone else out here, but they don't take care of themselves. Now, we probably know someone like this personally, or we've seen or heard about them somewhere. Being 1 to 0 in the ratio doesn't mean they have to stay there. They can change it. Deciding to care for themselves brings it up to a 1 to 1 at least. For me, the number and the question of ratio came at a time where I was feeling kind of down a bit. I was going through some challenges in my own life. I felt pressure, not depression, but a need to get some things in control. As I started to think about who I was really responsible for and had to take care of, I got my number. And a proverbial weight was lifted from my shoulders. It allowed me to see clearly who I had to do things for, and it made it more manageable. Things are a lot better now for me. And I don't know what finding out your you and who numbers would do for you. Perhaps it'll lift the weight as it did for me. But if nothing else, it'll provide clarity. And we could all use more clarity in this world. So take some time, think about what are your you and who numbers. You know you're responsible for yourself. And who do you have to take care of? Maybe you're like me, where the number I have that I provide care for, I want to increase. And I plan to one day. But right now, I take care of those that I must. And everyone else takes care of themselves. Now, if anything in here you can find useful, apply it. I don't never claim to have the success key for anybody. I'm working as well to find out what works for me. Luckily, we live in a world where there's so much information out here. So if it's not what you hear from me, find your own information. Apply it, make it work for you. As always, make a good day. Peace.